This is so cool. Let me show you how to do that in this video. So to complete this project, we need the drifter cycle from the movie. And we also need a 3-volt coin cell holder and a touch sensor, as you saw in the beginning of the clip. We need 2 LEDs and we need an expansion board to hook all of this into. Para completar este proyecto necesitamos el baticiclo de la película The Drifter Cycle y necesitamos una pila de 3 voltios junto con un sensor táctil como miraron al principio del clip, y necesitamos 2 luces LED, finalizando todo con un tablero para hacer las conexiones. Keep in mind that this is only one idea of what could be done with this motorcycle. Artist renditions will vary. This vehicle provides itself or lends itself to many possibilities, so the outlook of your vehicle will be completely different from mine. So I want to take the time to thank everyone who has made this channel possible. This channel is now reaching 3,000 subscribers, and we will have a giveaway once we reach that mark. So thank you everybody who has subscribed on their phone or on their laptop. And unfortunately I cannot send you a piece of pie because I would probably eat it before I send it, but I am willing to share a piece of pie of this channel. So stick around to the end of the clip to see what's in store for you. So for video purposes, I have already disassembled the cycle and reassembled it to show you, give you an idea what the walkthrough is. And this is what the cycle looked like before I painted it. Now there are 7 screws holding this cycle. Para propósitos del video, ya he desmontado la motocicleta. Ahora les voy a mostrar los pasos que tomé para desarmarla. Hay 7 tornillos que detienen esta motocicleta. Keep in mind, you only need to disassemble it if you want to put lighting into it. So you remove the seat and you will find 2 screws, one under the seat and one under the tank. This is the one-piece unit. It is all plastic, so you'll have to heat it up, soften it to remove it. Here's the screw on the tank, one in the body, one at the rear on the seat. There are 3 screws in the steering. Once you remove those, you can remove the cap and you can remove the forks. And the forks come with the wheel all in one piece unit. So it's going to be very simple to reassemble it or just paint what you need off of this. Now, going on to the next step is the headlamp. And the headlamps and the handlebars are also one piece. There is a hidden screw behind that lens. You'll have to drill or tap that lens to remove it and remove the screw. Once you remove those screws, you can now pry it halfway open. You'll see that there is a connecting bar where the exhaust pipes are. That is actually one unit that's set in there before attaching these exhaust pipes. And it's a actual rubber. It is not a hard plastic. You'll have to cut it. There's no other way to get into it but to cut it. Once you cut it open, you can slide open the 2 halves and you'll see where you have your cavities to put in your battery and wiring. Now, keep in mind that these pieces are going to sit back in place, so you'll have to decide very carefully where you want to cut your channels to lead the wires through. So as you can see, we have very little space in the tank. That's barely enough for a board and a few wires, and the bottom is going to be where the battery is going to go. Fortunately, I will be using a coin cell holder, and I will have to cut a slot for that battery. Now, these carburetors here are a plastic part of that unit that is into that peg, and that's what's holding the cycle together. You don't need to remove those. There's no way to light those, and it's a solid piece of plastic. Actually, it's rubber. Now there's no need to remove the chassis off of the rear wheel because you're not going to be working on it. That is, unless you want to paint it or go any further. This is what your cycle should look like once fully disassembled. So it's time for paint, and we're going to start off with a base coat of silver vallejo. Así que vamos a comenzar con pintura y como base usaremos el color plata de la marca Vallejo. So on all of these pieces, we're going to use the black as a base. So we're not going to bring the silver all the way to the edges. We're going to leave those black. We want it to create a natural transition or shade into the edge. So it's a darker red. And the red we're using is the Tamiya X27, a transparent red paint. It is thick and it is a solvent-based paint, not water-based. Do not add water. Do not mix with water-based acrylics. This will only work in the technique that I'm showing you here, and it is best applied with an airbrush. Así es que estaremos usando el color negro del plástico como una base para pintar el color plata encima, y solamente queremos llevar el color plata al centro, no llevarlo hasta la orilla de la pieza. Queremos usar el color negro como una base para crear una transición de color oscuro a un color vívido y fuerte, que es el rojo que vamos a poner por encima. El color que estaremos usando rojo es hecho por Tamiya, es el Tamiya X27 y es un color transparente. Es una pintura que no es a base de agua, así es que no lo mezcles con otros acrílicos que son base de agua porque no se mezclarán correctamente. Un aerógrafo es la mejor manera de aplicar esta pintura y lo veremos en el siguiente segmento. So the best way to apply this technique is with an airbrush. Now, if you're thinking of mixing in your silver with a standard red acrylic, what you're going to get is a pink. You're not going to get a metallic red. So this is the best way to do it, to get that metallic look. That is, unless you buy a true metallic red. But if you don't have that, this is the best technique to use, and it turns out really nice because the X27 Tamiya already has a gloss into the mix. So when it dries, it's going to be very high gloss, a very nice finish. And of course, if you want to go even further and wet sand it, you can certainly do so. But you don't want to apply it too thick because then you're not going to see the metallic finish underneath. Esta es la mejor manera de aplicar esta pintura con un aerógrafo. Ten en mente que esta pintura no es a base de agua, así que no trates de mezclarla con otra pintura acrílica. Y si tienes solamente pintura acrílica que no es esta, y es un rojo y un plateado, no lo mezcles porque resultará un color rosa, no un rojo metálico. En ese caso mejor consigue pintura roja metálica. Pero como ves aquí, la mejor manera de aplicarlo es en capas y es con un aerógrafo. Ten en mente que si lo aplicas muy grueso, no vas a ver el metálico debajo que se pueda traducir. Entonces ten cuidado cuántas capas le vas a añadir aquí. Este ya tiene un finalizado que es de sumamente brilloso, así es que no necesitas sellarlo con otro brillo. Ese ya sería a gusto tuyo. So this is the finalized work after removing all of the masking after it's fully dry. After you do your touch-ups, you should end up with something like this. And as you can see, the edges are darker, providing us a natural transition of color. Este es el resultado final después de remover todo el tape que está cubriendo las porciones que no queremos pintar. Y como ves, el terminado es sumamente brilloso y la transición de las esquinas o las orillas que están más oscuras hacia el color más fundido o más relumbrante que queremos tener. Así que tienes un terminado muy bonito. Now this is what your drifter cycle should look like at this point. That headlamp has a plastic lens. You'll have to drill that out very carefully to remove the screw that's behind it. So let's go through the actual headlamp and what's involved in it. That lens is from a 1/10 scale RC headlamp lens. The LED is by Brixmax, and you can purchase that on Amazon. I'll have links below. Now, keep in mind that these LEDs are the only two that we are going to use. And inside this headlamp, well, you saw the lens come off, so I actually have to glue that on there. So be careful when you align it on there because it doesn't actually sit on the inside. It actually just sits toward the edges, and you can glue that with the UV resin. You're removing that diffuser that I had to hand cut. This is the LED on the inside, and behind that is the screw. So you'll have to put this together before you mount it on the actual cycle. So for video purposes, I have already wired the cycle. I will now walk you through what I did so you have a general idea. I cut the expansion board. I cut 3 ports that I needed. I needed the one for power and the 2 for the LEDs. Those will be embedded at the top inside the tank. At the very bottom is the 3-volt coin cell holder, and this holds a 2032 battery. Attached to that is the touch sensor switch. Now both of these items I purchased through Evan Designs. They have a great variety of small electronics for this sort of thing. Now I'm going outside my comfort zone once again because I have to cut a notch in the back of that area for the coin cell to be removed, and it's going to be a pain. Once this runs out, I'll go back in there and probably reinstall a USB connect because it's just so much easier. I don't like pulling batteries in and out. I may have to break it back open to get to that coin cell battery. Para el propósito de tener el video más sencillo, ya hice el alambrado y como han visto, el alambrado consiste de un sensor que es táctil y tiene una pila que tiene tamaño 2032 que es la que va abajo. Ahora aquí vemos el lente que usaré para el reflector rojo que será la luz trasera. La luz delantera, como ya vieron anteriormente, es compuesta también de una luz LED conectado a este tablero que está aquí, y ahí es donde tenemos el otro luz LED conectado y tenemos la energía que viene de la pila. Dentro estará esto en el tanque. Debajo ven la pila. Tendré que cortar una abertura para poder sacarla cuando se haya desgastado. Y quizás tenga que abrirlo otra vez porque es sumamente difícil de sacar y meterla. Now the touch switch is a wire. You can place it anywhere you want. For video purposes, I left it in its full length so I can easily access during the video, but you can cut it to the length you need. Once you have your cycle fully back together, you should be able to do this. Off, on, and on, and this is so cool. I really like the way this touch sensor works. So let's go through the list one more time of what you need. You're going to need that drifter cycle, and you're going to need a 3-volt coin cell holder. You need a touch sensor, and you need 2 LEDs. And of course, 1 expansion board. And you can purchase all of this through Evan Designs as well. Así es que hagamos un breve repaso. Necesitamos la motocicleta de Drifter Cycle y necesitamos también una pila de 3 voltios. Claro, necesitamos el sensor táctil y necesitamos 2 luces LED con un tablero donde conectarlo. Todo esto lo puedes conseguir en la página de Evan Designs. Once again, keep in mind that this is one vision or artist rendition of this cycle. Yours can be totally different, everything from colors to lighting, and that's fantastic. There are so many possibilities that can be done with this cycle. I just had to choose one. I could only show you one. Now, I do want to thank everyone who has returned to help make this channel grow. I have my next goal of reaching 3,000 subscribers, and I have one giveaway to share with everybody. Now, it's something that you have to do is you have to comment, you have to like, and you have to become a subscriber. And yes, you'll have to follow me on Instagram as well to be a participant. So don't forget to look up Ink Drop Customs on Instagram and on YouTube, and comment, like, subscribe, because I'd like to share a piece of this pie. I can't actually send you a piece of pie because I'll eat it before it gets to you, but I can share a piece of the pie of this YouTube channel. And in the last segment, or a few chapters before, you saw a custom cape. Well, this is what I'll be giving away. I have a black one and I have a blue one, so let me know which color you prefer. Once again, thank you very much for participating and helping me grow this channel. Let's make it past 3,000. I'll leave you with a quick segment of the finished product. I did use some green screen. Let me know if you like it or not, and we'll see you on the next one. Wait, hold on. I gotta do this one more time. Off, on, off, on. This is so cool. You guys gotta get one for yourselves. This is so awesome. We'll see you next time.